Good morning to the chairperson, ladies and gentlemen. In just 5 minutes, files on your devices could be encrypted and beyond its reach. 1,800 new threats are being introduced into the internet every 5 minutes, along with 800,000 people being exposed to malicious URLs, phishing websites, and other threats every 5 minutes. The fastest trains today could reach up to a top speed of 450 kilometers per hour, which means that in every 5 minutes, it could reach up to a distance of 40 kilometers, which is an amazing distance to travel in such a short period of time. So I hope you get an idea of how really that time is, how really short that time is. So what if all your devices get attacked by a threat in the next 5 minutes? Are you prepared? It all depends on the way you have perceived about security. So out of all these threats, I will be presenting to you on one of them, ransomware, and how people have perceived it. Mental attitude of ransomware among BYOD users as an awareness framework. Throughout my presentation, I will be covering the following topics to give you a brief understanding about the subject, and then go on detail into my research findings. Moving on to the clarification of my concepts. Ransomware. It's a malware which locks your device and your data, and in order to unlock them, you have to pay a ransom. So today, ransomware is the most profited malware in history. BYOD is a trend, expanded as bring your own device. It's a trend which allows employees of an organization to use the organization's network by using their own personal devices, such as smartphones and laptops. 2016 is declared as the year of ransomware after some few incidents that were reported in the US. My related works include that out of all the ransomware families, today the two most circulated types of ransomware are the locker ransomware used in locking your devices, and then crypto ransomware to lock your data. Another researcher in Bitdefender says that 32% of the people who have not yet been victims of ransomware think that it's less likely that they will get affected. Most importantly, another study shows that the strongest solution for the mitigation of ransomware is the education about the malware. Moving on to why I conducted this research. This research study aims to analyze the information about the basic knowledge of BYOD users on ransomware, because today BYOD and ransomware are both emerging principles. Methodology, how I conducted this research, is by an online survey which was distributed to both IT as well as other professions, which included 150 participants, where 54% was from information technology and 46% from the other professions. Questions included demographic as well as other main questions related to the subject area. It also included methods such as quantitative as well as qualitative methods to get more variety of answers. The distribution of the survey was conducted for 5 whole months anonymously to get more genuine answers. Moving on to my results section, as you can see, most of the people, the participants, are from the university level. This shows the usage of a computing device of the respondents on a weekly basis. So, majority of the people, with 34% in number, uses a computing device for over 20 hours. And only a small proportion of less than 1 hour is such as 5% uses for less than 1 hour, which means that since majority of the people are using for over 20 hours, there's a more chance of corruption. Moving on to the prior infection of a device by a malware. 71% said they have got infected by malware before, whereas only 25% of the people said they have not, and 4% said they does not know whether they have got infected before. Heavily used BYODs, based on the survey, majority of the people said they use smartphones with around 74%. Over 65% said they use laptops, and approximately tablets are used by approximately 15%. The most used applications on the internet based on the respondents. Education used by over 71%, social media over 67%, and email is used by around 63% of the people. Most importantly, the perception level or the level of literacy. It is divided into the two categories, IT and the other category. Among 145 valid respondents, how many people had not even heard about this term ransomware before? 48 people from IT. Then 56 people from the other category. How many people have heard about it but only up to a very limited extent? 24 people from IT and 12 from the other category. Only 4 people from the IT section knew exactly what ransomware is, how it gets infected, the precautions to be taken, and the actions of the ransomware. And compare that with the other category, only 1 person was aware about it. So, as per the results, majority of the respondents are unaware about this malware. And most of the people are in the threat zone. As you saw, most of them use devices for over 20 hours, and then for applications such as email, they are vulnerability applications. So precautions must be taken to educate the people on this malware. We have introduced a framework which includes the main problem and then the risk mitigation techniques. Main problem being the increase of ransomware threat, which is caused by visiting of unsafe websites, opening of email attachments, clicking on malicious links. But the risk level is very high in all of those. The consequences are preventing you from accessing your device, your data, and applications from running on your device. Main mitigation techniques that we have introduced are installation of mobile devices, do not permit jailbroken devices. Mobile device management can be used to remove the sensitive data, use antivirus and firewalls from reputable companies, do not click on any suspicious email attachments, keep your business data and personal data separate. Personal data such as your name, address, telephone number, date of birth, they are very sensitive to be kept along with the other data. Prevent offline access. Enforce passwords. When I say enforce passwords, they must be very effective. The longer, the better. And use characteristics such as a mix of lowercase, uppercase, special characters such as @ hash, and so on. Then last but most importantly, effective awareness training. Because we must make people aware that the data on their devices are valuable as well as vulnerable, and they must be updated with information on new risks. And also, we must help them to recognize and respond to real and potential security concerns. So, if you all have at least some of these precautions taken, then yes, you can survive almost any threat which could happen in the next 5 minutes. Thank you.